One of these runs was created by a tool-assisted speedrunner. Every movement was chosen frame by frame. Every jump was optimized, and under these rules, it represents the theoretical limit of Super Mario Bros. The other run was created by a reinforcement learning model running on my computer. By the time they reached Bowser, there was almost nothing separating them. And somewhere along the way, our AI had also completed Super Mario Bros. Faster than any human ever had. Alright, let's have some fun. This project actually started with a much smaller goal: train an AI to beat World 1-1 of Super Mario Bros. At first, I wasn't thinking about the full game at all. I just wanted to see whether reinforcement learning could learn one highly optimized level from scratch. It worked well enough that I couldn't stop there. One milestone led to the next, and before I really realized it, I found myself trying to build an AI that could compete with the fastest speedruns in the world. Eventually, it even achieved a better in-game timer than the current human world record. You probably already saw that. That got me wondering, could we train an AI to complete the entire any % speedrun? After studying the current world record, one thing became obvious. Without the major glitches, it simply wasn't going to happen. So I went back to work. I improved the model, built dedicated training environments, and after a lot of experimentation, it eventually mastered every glitch needed for the route. At that point, it seemed like we finally had every piece of the puzzle. We just had to put them together in one single run. That turned out to be much harder than expected. The plan was straightforward: take the same reinforcement learning setup that had worked so well for World 1-1 and simply make the game longer. Instead of training just one level, train the entire any % route. So that's exactly what I did. The model still received the same information from the game: Mario's position, his speed, whether he was on the ground, nearby enemies, and just like before, after every action, it received a reward. Moving farther through the game was good. Reaching a new level was even better. Finishing the run was the ultimate goal. And at first, the training looked exactly like it had in World 1-1. Completely random movement, walking into enemies, missing jumps, dying over and over again. But slowly, the deaths moved farther into the game. World 1 became World 4. World 4 became World 8. And after more than a week of continuous training, the AI finally completed Super Mario Bros. Technically, the experiment had worked. The model could actually finish the game in one go. There was just one problem. The run took almost 6 minutes. For comparison, the current human world record is over a minute faster. So while the AI had learned to beat the game, it wasn't even close to being competitive. Simply scaling up the World 1-1 approach wasn't going to be enough. The problem wasn't that the AI couldn't learn. The problem was that it spent most of its time relearning things it already knew. Imagine the model makes a mistake in World 8-2. To get another attempt, it first has to play through every previous level. And if it dies in World 1-2, it never even reaches the section we actually want to improve. Most of the training wasn't solving new problems, it was simply replaying old ones. So I changed the strategy. Instead of training the entire game as one giant challenge, I split it into individual levels. Now the model could practice the same difficult section thousands of times in a row without replaying everything that came before it. The improvement was immediate. Movement became cleaner. The glitches became more consistent. The route started looking much closer to an actual speedrun. But then progress began to slow. The first improvements came quickly. Then each new frame took longer to find. Saving another timer unit meant running millions more attempts, and every small optimization took longer than the last. Eventually, I wasn't really limited by the AI anymore. I was limited by how many attempts I could generate. The problem wasn't finding improvements, it was finding them fast enough. And that meant the real bottleneck wasn't the model. It was the speed of the training itself. Until now, every single training run happened inside an NES emulator. Even running in turbo mode, the entire system managed only around 100 simulation steps per second. That sounds like a lot. Until you realize the AI needs millions, sometimes billions of decisions to find tiny improvements. At that speed, progress became a waiting game, so I started asking myself a different question. During training, who is actually watching the game? The answer was nobody. The AI doesn't care what Mario looks like. It doesn't need graphics. It doesn't need music. It doesn't even need an emulator window. All it needs is the game logic. So instead of emulating an entire NES in multiple windows, I switched to a native C port of Super Mario Bros. Then I removed everything the AI didn't need. No graphics, no audio, no rendering. Just the game state, the controller input, and the next frame. After connecting it to the existing reinforcement learning pipeline, I ran the first benchmark. The simulator had become roughly 2,000 times faster. Suddenly, the amount of experience that previously took over a week could be generated in 5 minutes. It felt like the breakthrough we'd been waiting for. So I started training again. And almost immediately, everything fell apart. Things that had worked perfectly before started failing. The bullet bill in World 8.2 wasn't where it was supposed to be. The lava bubbles in World 8.4 appeared at different times. Entire sections that had already been solved simply stopped working. At first, I thought something was wrong with the new simulator. Maybe the port wasn't accurate. Maybe I had introduced a bug. So I compared it against the original emulator. Everything matched. The simulator wasn't wrong. The problem was much more subtle. By making the earlier levels faster, I had also changed when Mario arrived at every level that followed. And in speedrunning, timing is everything. Save just a few frames in World 1.1 and Mario reaches World 1.2 slightly earlier. That changes the starting state of World 1.2, which changes the ending state of World 1.2, which changes the beginning of World 4.1, and so on. By the time Mario reached World 8, those tiny changes had completely altered the enemy cycles. The bullet bill appeared at a different time. The lava bubbles followed different patterns. Even though the earlier levels were objectively faster, the later levels had effectively become new problems. That completely changed how I had to think about training. Again. Turns out my first intuition had actually been correct. The levels were never independent. They only looked that way because training the full game at 100 steps per second simply wasn't practical. But now it finally was. The speedrun wasn't 8 separate problems. It was one long chain. And if I wanted the fastest possible run, the AI would have to learn it that way. So, I started over. One last time. The entire route was now connected. Every improvement flowed into the next level, which also meant every improvement had consequences. Every optimization forced me to check the remaining levels and sometimes retrain them. The faster the run became, the more fragile everything else became. But for the first time, the AI was solving the real problem, not isolated levels. One complete speedrun. Slowly, the pieces started coming together. The glitches became more reliable. The transitions became cleaner, and one by one, the remaining levels started falling into place. Eventually, I had something I hadn't seen before. A complete run. Not just one that reached Bowser, one that was actually fast. All glitches worked, and even World 8.4, which had caused so many problems, finally held together. After weeks of training, I watched the run cross the finish line. Then I compared it to the current human world record. Something interesting happened. Level after level, our AI was actually faster. Sometimes by 1 frame, sometimes by 2, sometimes by even more. But in Super Mario Bros., that doesn't matter. Because the game advances between levels in 21 frame intervals, called frame rules. If you save a few frames, but not enough to reach the previous frame rule, the next level starts at exactly the same time. Most of our improvements simply disappeared. For almost the entire run, the AI and the human world record stayed locked together. Until World 8.4. There, every single frame counts. And after one slightly better movement, the AI crossed the finish line just 2 frames ahead. Not a timer unit, not a second, 2 actual frames. That was enough. A reinforcement learning model, trained entirely on local hardware, had completed Super Mario Bros. Faster than any human ever had. And the crazy part was, we were only 4 frames away from matching the theoretical limit. The reference I compared against is the fastest known tool-assisted speedrun that doesn't rely on impossible left and right inputs. In other words, the theoretical limit under the same basic rules as our AI. 4 frames. After everything that had happened, that was almost impossible to believe. So I kept training, searching for one more optimization, then another, until eventually, those last 4 frames disappeared. After weeks of work, the reinforcement learning model had reached the same theoretical limit as the tool-assisted speedrun. Not because it copied the route, not because it replayed someone else's inputs, but because, after millions of simulated attempts, it independently converged on essentially the same solution. There was nothing left to save. At least nothing that either me or anyone else had been able to find. When I started this project, I honestly had no idea how far it would go. At first, I just wanted to know whether reinforcement learning could learn a single Mario level. Then it learned the pipe route. Then it beat the human world record in World 1.1. Then it mastered every major speedrunning glitch. And somehow it ended up matching the theoretical limit of an entire Super Mario Bros. Any percent speedrun. Looking back, the part I'm most proud of isn't even the final result. It's everything the project forced me to learn along the way. Reinforcement learning, NES emulation, speedrunning, game mechanics, and countless tiny details that I never would have discovered otherwise. So if you've watched this entire series, thank you. Whether you've been here since the first Goomba or you just joined for this episode, I really appreciate you coming along for the ride. And who knows, maybe there's another impossible challenge waiting for an AI somewhere else. Until then, thanks for watching.